Donald Trump's return to the White House marks a break from traditional U.S. foreign policy. His administration's approach to Russia reflects a shift in priorities, favoring engagement over confrontation. This recalibration is largely driven by the need to counter China's rise, raising critical questions about its global impact. For years, U.S. policy sought to contain both Russia and China. Trump's administration, however, prioritizes China as the primary rival while easing tensions with Moscow. The belief is that pushing Russia closer to China strengthens their alliance, creating a greater challenge to U.S. dominance. By offering diplomatic and economic incentives, Washington hopes to weaken this partnership, preventing China from leveraging Russia's resources in future conflicts. Trump's strategy mirrors Nixon's Cold War-era outreach to China, but in reverse, this time engaging Russia to contain China. The administration seeks to use diplomacy, sanctions relief, and reduced tensions over Ukraine to pull Russia toward the West. However, unlike past ideological divides, today's Russia-China partnership is built on mutual opposition to Western influence. Their economic and military cooperation makes a U.S.-driven split unlikely. Trump's approach carries risks, particularly for NATO and European stability. By downplaying Ukraine and easing pressure on Moscow, his policies could embolden Putin. A reduced U.S. commitment to NATO might encourage Russia to expand its influence in Eastern Europe, while European allies, unsure of U.S. reliability, may seek independent security arrangements, weakening transatlantic unity. Trump's foreign policy shift is already evident. His administration pressures NATO allies to increase defense spending while questioning U.S. obligations under Article 5. Cutting military aid to Ukraine could weaken Kyiv's resistance, making Moscow more assertive rather than neutral. While aimed at securing Russian neutrality against China, these moves carry long-term risks. Rather than making unilateral concessions, Washington should balance engagement with deterrence. Talks with Russia should be conditional on de-escalation in Ukraine and limits on military aggression. While NATO members should boost defense spending, the U.S. must maintain firm commitments. Strategic cooperation on select issues, such as arms control, could be explored without undermining broader security interests. Trump's policy shift is ambitious but uncertain. While breaking the Russia-China alliance could, in theory, benefit the U.S., the risks of weakening NATO and emboldening Moscow are significant. A sustainable strategy must balance diplomacy with deterrence, ensuring U.S. security commitments remain intact. The key question remains, can the U.S. reshape global alignments without compromising its own strategic stability?